All right. I promised Matt I'd let him rant about the Buckeyes. We're both Buckeye fans, football, and it's what we're February 10th. So I guess Matt's had some time to decompress from the bowl games and the playoffs and all that good stuff. And we've offline have shared a little bit about what we think about what happened this year. So go ahead, Matt, and I'll let you vent.
Well, I don't want to jump to conclusions or anything, but I think the Buckeyes could have done a little bit better against Georgia than 65 to whatever the hell it was, 17, or what was the final score of that?
I don't know. There's a guy that goes to my gym. His son went to TCU.
Okay.
And, he wore all his TCU stuff all season long. He's a big TCU fan. And he went to their playoff game. I forgot who they played. Michigan. Oh, my God. I forgot they played Michigan. That was crazy. And beat them. And then he even went out to the title game. And I felt so bad for him. I didn't even bring up that game. I didn't watch the game, but I saw the score. And, I just like, I was rooting for him against, Michigan because of the Buckeye tie. So, that was embarrassing.
It was. I don't have anything against TCU at all, but, shit. And then you got Michigan. Boy, they can't do anything right, can they? Gosh,
No.
Those guys drive me nuts, man.
The reason I root for TCU in that game, I never root for Michigan. That's just the fact. But the reason I really was rooting for TCU, because I didn't want to play them in the championship game, because you don't play Michigan outside the Michigan-Ohio State game. Right. It happens in November. We don't play them any other time during the year. So right. I ain't playing. We're not playing them again.
Although
we if you don't beat them in November, you don't get another chance again till the next November.
Okay, fair enough. I've always been a big supporter of other Big Ten teams in any competition outside of the Ohio State-Michigan game, and then I'll never ever root for anybody other than the Buckeyes in that one, right? But then
right.
I want Michigan to be undefeated and ranked high. All their starters, I want them to be firing on all 8 cylinders when we play them. So when we kick their ass, then there's really nothing anybody can say about the undisputed, best team in the Big Ten. Now, that hasn't happened in the last 2 years, but shit, man. I mean, think about if they had won the national title, which would have made me throw up in my mouth. But when we beat them next November, I mean, come on, we just beat the returning national champions. It puts us mentally, it escalates our aura, our everything, right? I mean, that's going to carry us right through to our next national title to be spited by those pricks up there. I mean, Ann Arbor.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I don't want them have any losses or anything like that before they play Ohio State. I'm on board with that. But that game, I was like, I don't want them to win. If we win our game, our playoff game, and they win theirs, and we playing them for the national championship, I wasn't into that for some reason. I don't know. I
think I know why. At least I know why. If I had some pause at a scenario like that, and this comes from years of my dad, who was, as far as I know, the biggest Ohio State Buckeyes fan in the world, bar none. I mean, I've seen a lot of distorted behavior at Buckeye losses from my dad. This is what I grew up learning from. But the history of the Ohio State choking in the big game is the way he would describe it. And and you got a game like that with your opponent being somebody that is your rival. I'd be worried to death that we'd lose that one, and I'd never hear the end of it from the people I know that are Michigan fans.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a mess. But the game, their playoff game was a fun game to watch.
It was, man. They really lit up. That was a shootout, and those are always fun to watch. But you get into our game, and there was absolutely some. I hate it when the officials make it about them, and I kind of felt like they did that to some extent in our game, in our playoff game. And I don't remember all this. I mean, this has been keep in mind, this has been over a month of sheer denial for me and sticking my head in the sand and trying to forget it. So don't expect me to have too many specifics that I can recall right at this moment. But I just remember coming out of that game thinking, man, we got the shit out of the stick on making this a fair competition as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the same thing or not, but.
Well, I think the Buckeyes surprised everybody. I think everybody thought, Georgia was going to come in there and walk all over them. And, we had the lead for most of the game.
Yep. And then what'd you think of that hit on Marvin Harrison Jr.? Now, was that targeting or was
what I recall, again, my memory is fuzzy. I don't even like the rules that we play by, the football, whatever. The court, you can't touch the quarterback and things, all that nonsense that we do now. But right. That looked like he was defenseless at the time that I recalled. So it's terrible. I mean, just overall how they teach these kids how to play football in the first place. I mean, they just kind of throw themselves
with reckless
abandon because they think the equipment they wear makes them invincible. Exactly. Yeah. So that's a turn off for me for football. I still enjoy watching it. My wife's a bigger Buckeyes fan than I am, so she's kept me tied to the school because there was a time there I can't watch the game because similar to other Buckeye fans, I get too involved, too emotionally tied to the game, and so I needed a break. I'd watch from a distance. I'm like, okay, they're doing it.
Yeah, check in. Hey, I'm with you, man. I mean, when I was younger and when I still drank, I was a force to be reckoned with during Ohio State games if they were losing. You just didn't want to be around me. But but honestly, with any game, if I want, and I've chilled out, I think I did the same thing you probably just described as I kind of, hey man, this is just a game, even though it's a game I love and a game I would have continued playing if I could have, and all that stuff. But Dad could never watch the Buckeyes lose. He just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and it would just ruin him for a whole week. So I think it kind of rubbed off on me a little bit. I mean, I got the shrine to the Ohio State Buckeyes right here adjacent to my office. I won't even go near that thing if after a loss for a while, because it's difficult to think about it. It's like, damn it, man! I built these guys up so high in my mind. They went out there and they got there anyway. So
it'll be interesting to see. That's 2 years in a row, man. If Day doesn't pull it together, they might be calling for his head.
No, Cooper made it about 10 years, and did he ever beat him once?
I can't recall
because it was Lloyd Carr that had his number, I think, and then Tressel came in and kind of straightened things out. And
I was there. I was there near the end of Cooper, and and then Tressel, and things got a little bit better. Things we weren't used to. How many years in a row did we beat them till we lost? It's a long time.
Like 8 or 9, at least. Yeah,
and at one time I was like, you know what? We need to lose to them because it's losing. It's kind of its thing, It's the game, but if every year we beat them, then it's not really a rivalry,
right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to the Woody Hayes days, and of course, I don't remember him. I wasn't really alive, or I wasn't born yet. But I was born and I didn't know what the hell was going on yet. But I mean, thinking about when they were on the way back from a game in Ann Arbor, and they were like 10 miles from the Ohio border. The bus was low on fuel. And the bus driver's like, hey, man, we need to stop. And Woody's like, ain't no effing way we're stopping to get gas up here. We're getting Ohio gas, or we're walking. And the bus ran out of gas. Like, get off the bus, boys. We're walking home. And they walked back to Ohio. Now, that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff we need to happen here. I mean, it's back when they used to change the signs. People they would send a covert ops team down to Ohio and try to change all the signs for people to get to the stadium so people get lost or whatever and not show. Yeah, that's the fun part about that whole rivalry right there.
Yeah, Woody definitely put some fuel on that fire. I think that's where us. I think that's where it originates. Because everyone wear the Woody hats. And, but all right, do you feel better now, or
a little bit better? Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you got some time. You can let it. The spring game will be coming up soon, though. Yeah,
I'm interested to see what we're going to do about the quarterbacking situation. As always, are we kind of rebuilding there, or are we just what do they call it? We don't rebuild, we reboot.
We reload.
There you go.
Reload. Yeah. I don't know. That seems like the we're kind of like the SEC teams now, that the kids come and get their couple years and then off to the NFL we go.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. It seems like they got great continuity, but it's got to be a challenge to get all those new guys up to speed and firing on, as a unit, collective unit.
Yeah.
But they do a good job. It's just if you can't beat, that team up north, then he's not going to last long.
Doesn't matter. All the other games don't matter.
They sure don't.
You can lose all of them and go up there and beat them, and I'd be okay with it.
I would be perfect as long as we beat them. Yeah. Second place is the first loser, man. We cannot let this happen for at least a couple more years now.
No.
We'd keep a 2-to-1 ratio. I'll be happy. We win 2, they win 1, we win 2. I can live with that.
That's fair enough. We can make that deal.
Yeah.
Be all right with that.
Yeah. Especially if we knew about it ahead of time, then we could go bet on it.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we'll put that out there. See how many people still listen to the podcast.
All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Go Bucks.